Most of your customers aren't saying no, they're just saying not yet. If you're running Facebook ads and getting clicks but not conversions, this video is for you. The truth is, retargeting is where most brands are bleeding profit. Either they're doing too much, wasting spend on over-segmented audiences, or doing too little and letting warm traffic drift away. In this video, I'll show you the only Facebook ads retargeting strategy that you need in 2025, built specifically for e-commerce brands that want to increase ROAS without overspending. You'll learn how to structure your audiences so Meta's algorithm works with you, not against you, the 5 core objections that stop consumers from buying, and how you can overcome each of them with laser-focused creative, and the real reason that most retargeting ads fail. And here's a hint, it's not your offer, it's your messaging. If you're spending any money on Facebook ads, this strategy will help you convert more of the traffic you've already paid for without complicating your setup. So let's jump in. So my name is Dr. Liam Deneen, and alongside my co-founder Jack, we've generated over $50 million in new customer revenue for direct-to-consumer e-commerce brands through our agency Vulcan Digital. You can check us out at all the links below on our YouTube, LinkedIn, X, and as always, you can join our free weekly newsletter in the description below. It's packed with step-by-step guides and free courses to help you scale your brand with paid media. But today, I'm breaking down the only Facebook ads retargeting strategy that you need in 2025. So let's start with the basics. Why does retargeting work so well if you're an e-commerce brand? The average e-commerce conversion rate sits between 0.5 and 2.5%. That means for every 100 people that land on your site, 98 or 99 of those people don't make a purchase. You've spent money to get these people to the site in the first place. So if you don't retarget to them, that's money wasted. You're letting potentially interested buyers slip through the cracks. But retargeting works because you're not advertising to random people. You're advertising to people who have already shown an interest in your brand or your products. So that means that conversion rates are typically higher and ROAS much higher as well. You have to bear in mind that consumers need typically 6 to 8 different touch points with your brand before they'll ever make their first purchase. And sometimes that number can be even double or triple that. Now, when you go to set up a retargeting campaign in Facebook ads, you'll see a whole host of different options. You might hear about Advantage Plus campaigns where cold and warm traffic is bundled in together, or you might have been told about more manual approaches where you have a whole host of segmented retargeting audiences that you're remarketing to. But from managing accounts for nearly 100 e-commerce brands, particularly those doing $50K to about $1 million in monthly revenue, I'll tell you right now, most of these brands don't have the traffic to sustain this level of segmentation in their retargeting campaigns. So the more segmented your retargeting audiences are, the smaller they become, and the higher your cost of marketing becomes as virtue of that. But what makes this so much worse is that in the vast majority of audits that I carry out, all of this segmentation and all of these segmented audiences get shown the same retargeting ads anyway. So you're paying a premium to have smaller audience segments, yet you're still showing them the same retargeting ads you would do if you selected a much broader retargeting audience. It doesn't make sense. So you're paying for no real benefit. Our recommendation is keep it simple. Focus on a website visitor audience of either 90 to 180 days. And the majority of time, we will keep this at a 90-day website visitor audience. This keeps the audience really broad, but you have to bear in mind that Meta's algorithm will still prioritize people who are the warmest, who are most likely to buy. And the vast majority of time, that's people who've recently visited the site in the last 1, 2, or 3 days. So you will still be prioritizing that super warm audience, but you'll keep your CPMs lower because your segment is broader. When it comes to creating your retargeting campaigns, it's not about hammering the same message over and over again. It's about removing the friction that stopped someone from buying in the first place. To do this properly, you need to truly understand your customers' objections and build creative that specifically addresses each of those objections. Here are 4 great places that you can look to find out what your actual customers' objections really are. The first place is your post-purchase surveys. The second is your customer support logs or your live chat logs. The third is your Facebook and Instagram comment section where you'll get unfiltered reviews from potential or actual customers. And the fourth is your product reviews and actually your competitor reviews as well. But if you still need help identifying those common objections, I'm going to show you our 5 objection framework. These are the 5 most common objections that you need to overcome in your retargeting campaigns. And I'm going to show you exactly the type of creative that you need to be running to overcome each of these objections. So objection number one is the price or the value. The objection is it's either too expensive or I'm not sure if it's worth it. So what you need to be doing is creating visuals that speak to long-term savings or price per unit. And you'll see two examples here. Harry's do this really well. They compare their cheaper price versus a more expensive competitor. And the vast majority of time, there will be a more expensive competitor than you in the market. And the second example is from Huel, who use price per unit, which is really, really common and really effective for any CPG brand to overcome this objection of price. Objection number two is trust or credibility. And the objection is this legit or will I even get the product? And the reason this objection exists is because there are so many shady D2C brands still in the market. So consumer skepticism is only natural and expected. So the way that we're going to overcome this is by showing real customer reviews, highlighting things like our secure checkout, returns policy, PR mentions, anything that adds weight and validity to the existence of our brand. Some examples here, you've got your men's health PR call out alongside a testimonial. Example here in the middle has got a series of PR call outs down at the bottom alongside another customer testimonial. And here lastly, we have a whole host of social proof from 100,000 plus customers and a Trustpilot review score of 4.6 out of 5. Trustpilot's really widely recognized by consumers and obviously, as is in the name, adds a layer of trust to any brand, particularly if you have such a high number of customer reviews. Objection number three is feature or benefit skepticism. So the objection here is, will it work for me or will it work in general? So some of the ways that we want to counter this objection is showing either real results via before and after photos or real results from real people using real customer testimonials. So testimonials from real customers are a fantastic way of overcoming this objection. So we have two different styles here. One is more native, showing a picture of the customer and their actual customer review as an inset on the image ad. I think this is slightly more native, more novel. It's interesting. It has the product in an inset and also has things like the customer's age range, gender, the results they saw, and they've been using for more than 2 months. So a great way of calling out the ICP and showing a real customer review. The second one here maybe doesn't hold as much weight, but it does have a good call out in the customer testimonial. At 43 years old, my skin has never looked or felt better. And a second testimonial, I'm absolutely blown away by these amazing natural products. And an offer there, try our ultimate mini kit, 50% off. So they're bundling a level of customer testimonial alongside an offer to help with their retargeting efforts. Objection number four is logistic friction. So how long will it take, or what if I need to return it? These are common questions that consumers have when they're buying from any brand online. So a couple of things that we can do is really highlighting any shipping or returns policy benefits to the consumer that we have. I know not all brands will have free shipping for all orders. Quite a lot will have shipping thresholds, and that's fine. I would still make a note of that in a lot of your static ads, free shipping over X amount. And also you may not have a risk-free guarantee when it comes to returns. Now, whatever guarantee you do have or whatever returns policy you do have, if it is somewhat attractive, then I would be showing it in your ads. So here's a couple of examples of brands that have really positive shipping and returns policy for the consumer and make a very good job at showing that in their retargeting ads. So this jewelry brand here, free express shipping and risk-free 30-day returns. So the logistic friction here has been minimalized to near zero for the consumer. Why wouldn't I try this on at home and just return it for free? That's the implication here. It's a risk-free 30-day returns policy. So I'll absolutely just going to press the button and I'm going to buy. I'm going to try it on, and if I don't like it, I'll return it. Over here, we've got something similar, free worldwide shipping, free returns, and a very generous 2-year warranty as well. So just lowering any logistic friction that may have existed, and just a very good retargeting ad to overcome this common objection. The last objection, and this is the silent killer, this is complacency or distraction. And the objection here is, I'll come back later, or I forgot. It can also be that the consumer doesn't have that sense of compulsion needed to make a purchase. Now, if the consumer has just forgotten and they actually just need a little gentle nudge, well then quite often the messaging itself doesn't matter. They just need to be reminded of the mere existence of your brand. But most often than not, There isn't a sense of compulsion from the user or consumer to buy for the first time. And the reason for that is that they don't have a sense of urgency or a sense of scarcity from your messaging. Now, I'm not saying to artificially create those senses, but quite often you may have sales ongoing, or you may have offers that might be limited time, they might have limited stock. And in that instance, I would voice those levels of urgency and scarcity to potential customers, as that will encourage them to take action. They mightn't have that sense of complacency that they otherwise would if your offer was slightly more neutral, slightly more stale, and felt slightly more evergreen. So these are two contrasting examples. One leans much more heavily into that urgency and scarcity tactic than the other. No surprises for guessing that it is this ad here on the left that does lean much more aggressively into those tactics, with last chance as a big bold headline, limited time sale, offer ends soon, up to 50% off and free gift. So really lowering the level of complacency, increasing consumer compulsion to buy by using those urgency and scarcity tactics. Whereas this Steve Madden promotion style is much softer. It doesn't lean too aggressively into any urgency or scarcity, and just has your code for extra 40% off. So the final takeaway about retargeting is that it's not about pushing harder, but it's much more about removing the obstacles that stop people from buying. Each ad should speak directly to those common objections that stop people from clicking the buy now button. You need to structure retargeting campaigns in a way that answers these three questions. Why should I trust this? Why should I act now? And why is this right for me? And if you can do that really, really well, then your retargeting campaigns will become a ROAS machine. It'll also boost your overall site conversion rate, making it much easier to scale all of your campaigns, not just your retargeting campaigns. So if you're an e-commerce brand, really focus on those objections. Why people don't buy. Create ads that speak to those objections, helping your prospective customers overcome those objections and make their first purchase. And everything becomes much easier when you can do that. So as always, if you found this helpful, you can sign up for our free weekly newsletter. And if you'd like a second set of eyes to help you with your retargeting campaigns, or if you just want someone you can speak to about growing your brand profitably, then book a call with me in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.